Welcome to my class. In today's class, we are going to solve another question on bearing and distance. Don't go because this class will be very interesting. Let's have this question on the board. The bearing of 2 points Q and R from a point P are 30 degree and 120 degree respectively. If line PQ is 12 meter and PR is 5 meter, find line QR. The first step that you need to take while solving question on bearing and distance is to construct the first angle. Now from the question, locate where you have the word from. Locate from the question. From signifies the point where to construct your angle. From signifies the point where to construct your angle. So the question says that from a point P, it shows that your angle will be constructed at point P. So draw a 4 cardinal point at P. Now, the bearing of 2 points Q and R. So it shows that the bearing of Q and R will be constructed at point P. Then the bearing of Q equal to 30 degree. The bearing of Q equal to 30 degree. While the bearing of R equal to 120 degree. So the two bearing will be constructed at point P. Now, to construct angle like this, you locate the north pole. Locate the north pole. So you are going to construct your angle from the north pole towards clockwise direction. You construct your angle, you start from the north pole towards clockwise direction, except you have what we call what? Compass bearing. This is an example of a compass bearing. North 30 degree towards what? Towards west. This is a compass bearing. So when you have a compass bearing, you follow the instruction. So this one is to be constructed from north towards west. But this one is a true bearing. This is an example of a true bearing, not a compass bearing. So when you have a true bearing, you construct your angle from the north pole, then you move towards clockwise direction. So let's construct the first bearing. Now, from our 4 cardinal points, this place is 90 degree. Then the next one is another 90 degree. This is 90 degree. So this is another 90 degree. Now we want to construct angle 30 degree. So from the first 90 degree, you are going to take what? You take 30 degree. Now take 30 degree out of, so this is 30 degree. So take 30 degree out of 90 degree. This place will be what? Will be 60 degree. So 30 plus 60 will give us 90 degree. So you have constructed the first angle. That is the bearing of Q from what? From P. The bearing of Q. So now you trace it to point what? The next point will be point Q. Point Q. So you draw another 4 cardinal points at point Q. Now, let's construct the second bearing. So we have bearing of 120 degree. Bearing of 120 degree. So at the same point P, it will be constructed at point P. Then the first what? This first place is 90 degree. So what are we going to add to 90 degree that will give us 120 degree? So we add 30. So out of this second 90 degree, I'm going to take what? I will take 30. I'm going to take 30 degree. So this is angle 30 degree. To what? To R. To R. So this is point R. Now let's read it further. If line PQ is 12 meter, if line PQ is 12 meter and PR is 5 meter, you can see that PR is shorter than PQ. PR is shorter than the line, PR is shorter than PQ. So let's reduce the line PR. because it is shorter than PQ. So this is 5 meter. Then y line PQ is 12 meters. So this place is 12 meter. Now we can join it together now to form what? A triangle. Let's join it together to form a triangle. Now the question says that 5QR. We are looking for QR. So this is line QR. So let's call it X. Let's call it X. So we are looking for X. So now we are going to apply the knowledge of trigonometry. We are going to apply the knowledge of trigonometry. When you see two opposite sides, you have two opposite sides like this with an angle in between. When you have two opposite sides, this side is 5 meter. Then this side is 12 meter. Then we have an angle in between. So this angle is equivalent to what? 60 plus 30 will give us 90 degrees. So this angle is equal to 90 degrees. So when you have two sides like this with an angle in between, you apply what? Cosine rule. You apply cosine rule. Now, then cosine rule states that x squared equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab, then cos what? Cos x. That is cosine rule. Then you can also apply Pythagoras theorem. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. This angle is what? Is 90 degrees. It shows that this is a right angle triangle. So you can also use Pythagoras theorem because you have what? 90 degree here. This is a right angle triangle. But when you have anything less than 90 degree or greater than 90 degree, you can only apply what? Cosine rule. So because you are having 90 degree here, you can also use what? Pythagoras theorem. So I'm going to use the two methods. Now, let's proceed. So now we are looking for side x. This is the side x. That will be x squared is unknown, equal to a and b will be the two sides. So a is 5 meter, while b is 12 meter. So that will be 5 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 5 times 12. Then cos what? What is our x? X is the angle facing this what? Side x. That is 90 degree. So cos 90 degree. Now our x squared will be equal to 5 squared will give us 25 plus 12 squared will give us 144. Then minus 5 times 12 will give us 60. 60 times 2 will give us 120. Then cos 90 equal to 0. Cos 90 equal to 0. So multiply by 0. Now x squared will be equal to 25 plus 144 will give us 169. So 120 multiplied by 0 will give us 0. So minus 0. So x squared will be equal to 169. So we are looking for x, not x squared. Now what are we going to do to cancel this square? So we are going to square root both sides. Square root both sides. So this square root we cancel square. Then we are left with x. Then what is the square root of 169? That will be 13. So our answer is 13 meter. Our answer is 13 meter. That is what? QR. Because QR is the same thing as x. So therefore line QR equal to 13 meter. Then don't forget that I said that you can also apply Pythagoras theorem because we are having angle 90 degree here. Now, what is Pythagoras theorem? So that is x squared equal to a squared plus b squared. So this x squared is the side facing what? Angle 90 degree. X is the side facing angle 90 degree. So that will be our unknown. That is x squared equal to, this a and b are the two opposite sides. So that will be 5 squared plus 12 squared. So x squared will be equal to, what is 5 squared? That is 25. Plus 12 squared equal to 144. Then x squared will be equal to 169. 9. So by the time you square root both sides, so x will be equal to what? 13 meter. So you are still going to arrive at the same answer. It's very simple. Please don't forget to like, share, and leave comments. Please repost this video. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.